Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to day 5 of Vlogmas. For today's video, I thought it'd be fun to do a like gold sultry look. I know I have like a green Christmassy look planned out, and a like red cranberry look coming. So I thought today I'd stick with like the Christmas theme and do some like nice gold fancy glamorous makeup with like a more full coverage base and some contouring and the whole shebang. And I am going to do my hair later too, so I just have it back right now, so we'll get to that later. But let's start with the face. I kind of like shopped my stash a little bit and pulled out a couple things I want to use today. One being the Hourglass, this is like the Ambient Lighting Palette. So I asked for this for like years, and finally, I think it was like last year, I got it for Christmas or my birthday or something from my boyfriend. But I just haven't used it a ton since, so I want to pull it out and use that. And the other thing I really wanted to use is the Pure Raw Beauty KRISTI palette as well, more of the like neutral side. So these like browns down here are really pretty, and then I want to use that middle, it's called Golden Ticket, for like the main gold shade. So I just haven't used this a ton, but it's beautiful. It's neutral on one side and then you flip it and it's colorful on this side. So really cool palette. I just haven't used it a ton, so I want to pull it out. Let's get started and make this face look a little bit more glam. Since it's winter time and I'm definitely getting more dry now, I'm going to use the Locket, it's the Kvd Hydrating Primer to start off. I don't love like the smell of this primer, but it does feel really hydrating. I don't feel like it really keeps, like I don't feel like I notice a huge difference with it keeping my makeup on that long. Like I feel like I never really can tell a difference with primers, but it is nice and hydrating. And then it's always good to have a layer in between your skin and your makeup, just for your skin health. Yeah, it feels nice and like hydrating. And I said I wanted to go with a little bit more coverage today, so I'm going to go with the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I have this in 2-in-1 Desert Beige. And I'm going to use a brush today. I've been on like the sponge game for a while now, so I'm going to use a brush. This is a It Cosmetics. It's all rubbed off, but I think it's just a complexion like buffing brush. I haven't used it in forever. I used to use this every single day for my foundation before I bought the Rare Beauty foundation brush, which I also really like. But we're gonna use a brush today, and I like how like large the surface area on this brush is, because it just feels like it goes so quickly to blend in. I'm glad that this actually kind of matches. Most of my foundations are way too dark for me, so I feel like these lights make me look even paler though too than I am. Which I didn't know I could look any paler, but I feel like I look like a little ghost in the viewfinder. I feel like I take quite a bit of time like buffing my foundation in, but I just like it to look a little bit more seamless and really make sure everything's blended in, especially like around my hairline, my ears, my neck. So that's the base of foundation. It's definitely a really flawless foundation. Like I get why people really like it, but it is pretty drying and I feel like it shows my texture a lot. So I have a couple breakouts here, and then for my dark circles I'm going to use my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I haven't used this in so long, but I found it the other day and I felt like it matched my skin a little bit better than a lot of my other concealers. So I'm trying to, if I'm covering anything like any blemishes or any imperfections. I'm trying to do a concealer that matches my skin tone a little bit more than something really light like I usually do. I haven't used that in a really long time, but speaking of a drier formula, a little bit on the dry side, this concealer. Okay, let's contour a little bit. I'm going to use this NARS little cream contour stick. It's almost up. I don't even think they make this anymore, but it's almost up, so I'm trying to just like finish it up and use it up. And the other side is a highlighter that I've never liked, so clearly I haven't really used it. But I am going to use this contour shade. Ooh, she's a little dry. I'm just going to put on under my cheekbones. And up on my forehead. Under the chin a little. I think I'm even going to go back here a little bit. And I think I'm just going to go in with my same foundation brush and blend that out. So I like this shade because it's a nice, like, cool shade, so it's perfect for contouring. So when you contour, you definitely want to do a more cool tone because you want the illusion of a shadow. Bronzer I use a lot to contour because it's quick and easy, but it is usually a more warm shade because it's supposed to make you bronzy, sun-kissed. And of course it makes a little bit of a shadow, but what's going to give you that nice like contour is going to be more of a cool toned contour shade. Okay, so I definitely have a little bit more like definition in my face, makes my face look a little bit more structured, not so flat. So I think I'm done with any kind of cream product I'm going to use, so I'm going to powder my face. I am going to use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette and use the finishing powder Diffused Light. It's this one in the center here. And just take a little brush. These powders are so pretty because they give like a slight sheen or glow to your skin, and they're definitely not like a mattifying or anything. They just kind of give like this nice sheen across the skin. So I lied. So I'm going to add a little bit more concealer. I'm going to use the multi-use Sculpting concealer. So I only put powder like under my eyes and on my forehead. So I'm just going to go like right here to make my cheekbones pop, and a little bit under here to like clean up that contour. A lot of times you can get away with putting some kind of cream product over powder. It's just, you don't usually want to do it a lot. Creams just don't set well over powder, like just don't look nice over powder. But I feel like sometimes I've done it and you can barely tell. But I'm just gonna like clean up right here a little bit, make that line a little bit more sharp, and then my cheekbones to make those pop and look a little bit higher. So I think I'm gonna use a little beauty sponge for this just because it's a little bit more precise and I can really place it exactly where I want. So see how that made that line a lot more defined. And then up on the cheekbones. Kind of where I usually put highlighter. It's a little bit more contoured now. I'm just gonna go back in with a brush and just make sure my contour is still blended up into that. And then go back in with the powder and set that as well. I'm gonna go on top of that with the bronzer in this palette. It's right here. And everything in this palette is very glowy. See how that color is a lot more of a warm tone? It's gonna make me look bronzy and sun-kissed. I'm just gonna go right over the contour with that. Just to kind of finish it up, make everything look blended and get a little bit of warmth in my skin. And I guess I will mention that I don't contour my nose. I just feel like I don't have the right like nose shape for it. So I just feel like it never makes it look like good. So I just take my bronzer and put it like on top of my nose just to make it look like sun-kissed. But I usually do not ever contour my nose at all. So just FYI. And then I want to do more, I think I want to do either like a pink lip or a red lip. So I'm going to go with this more of a neutral shadow. It's called Mood Exposure in the same palette, and it's this one. It kind of has like a purpley undertone, but I feel like it's a good, like I don't want to do this one with, I mean you definitely could, but I probably wouldn't do this like bright shadow with like a bright lip. So I think I'm just going to do this more like neutral colored one. Because I want the eyes to pop and I want the lips to pop, so. Let's move on to eyes. I usually do a base of bronzer first. It's just kind of like a habit, and I feel like it helps me kind of define where my shadow is, like where my crease or shadow should be placed. So I'm just going to take the same bronzer I just used from the Hourglass palette and just kind of define my shape here with it, just so I can kind of get an idea of where I'm going with the shadow. I feel like that's already like pretty on its own, and that's usually what I wear every day, is just like some bronzer in the crease. I'm gonna go into the Raw Beauty KRISTI palette then, and I think I'm just gonna first go with Told You, which is the center more like orangey brown, and just use my same little fluffy blending brush. This is a Morphe brush. Actually, I think this Copper Boxes, it's more of a green undertone, might look a little bit better with the gold. So I think I'm going to skip the orangey and go with this more cool tone green undertone shade. And just put that in my crease. That's a really pretty shade. I'm going to take this little bit smaller of a Morphe blending brush, just so I can get a little bit more precise. I think I'm going to go with B. It's almost like the darker version of this. It has a little bit of a green undertone, a little bit more cool. I think it will go pretty again with like that center gold shade. And with this, I really want to like carve out my crease. So just doing a little bit more specific with where I'm placing it. I think I'm going to make a little bit of a V shape with that as well. Does anyone else have that area of their eye that you feel like you can't get shadow on? Like mine is right here. And in person, I just like, I feel like shadow doesn't stick to it or something. Like every single time I ever do shadow, I just feel like there's like this weird gap there. Let me know if anyone else has that issue. I think that's about the shape I want. I'm gonna go in with the more fluffy blending brush and just blend that out. I think I might even take the Copper Boxes and put that on top I like to use like the lighter shadow to blend out the deeper one so there's no lines or anything. And I'm also going to take that B color and put it underneath and really smoke out the bottom lash line. I'm going to take off this flat shadow brush, and I think first I'm going to go into my Whole Heart, which is this one. It's a more matte shade, and put that on the lid just to create, like, I really want the gold to pop, so I want kind of this base down first, or else it might not pop as well on top of it, because it's a really like shimmery shade. And then we're going to put that golden ticket in the middle there on the lid. Hopefully it gives us like a good goldy shimmery look. So it's not as like shimmery as I wanted, like there's smaller little chunks of shimmer, but not like these big like glamorous chunks. So I'm going to go into my Subculture palette and do the Adorn. It's like a really pretty bronzy gold shade, and I know it's like really super shimmery, so I'm gonna add that on top and hopefully give me the more of what I was kind of going for. Yeah, that's more like bronzy and sultry like I was going for. And then I'm going to deepen up the lash line with a brown eyeliner. This is just a MILANI brown eyeliner. And just put that really, really close to my lashes. Just to have some kind of like depth. A little bit on the bottom, about halfway. I'm gonna take this little brush and just blend it out. I'm gonna take this Lorac highlighter, this is in Celestial, and put that on my brow bone. I think that helps to kind of get rid of that like really severe line, and obviously I want to be shimmery as well. Let's curl the lashes, put on some mascara. I'm going to use the Bite Upswing mascara. I still have a little bit left of this. I feel like it's starting to get dry, but it's very voluminous, so I want my lashes to be nice and thick. I don't want to apply falsies. I never really wore falsies. I do have a lot of shadow on, so I definitely want them to be nice and full. Creepy, my TV just turned on. Oh my god, I forgot peppermint coffee. I'm gonna fill in the brows, just how I normally do with my Benefit Precisely my brow pencil. I'm going to run through them with the Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel. I'm going to add a little bit of that highlighter to the high points of my cheekbones. I'm going to line my lips with the Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. And then I have two lip options. I don't know if I want to go with the Go-Go tint from Benefit. This is in like the cherry toned one. I just wore this in a video and I really liked how it looked. Or MAC Stay Curious. It's like more of a pinky red. I think I'm gonna go with the MAC one. It's been a while since I've worn it. Okay, this is the finished makeup look. I think I'm gonna go put some light waves in my hair and I'll be right back to show you the finished look. Okay, and that is the finished look. I want to go to like a Christmas party now or like a New Year's Eve party, and yeah, I feel very glamorous. So I hope you like this look a lot and you either try it or it inspired you to get a little bit more glamorous this holiday season. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos from me. I always have all of the products that I use, like links to the products in the description box as well. I feel like I always forget to mention that. But if I'm doing anything with products and I'm mentioning any kind of products or anything, I always have them linked. So otherwise, I will see you tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Bye guys.